Hey guys, since last time, this is what you should be left with. In this video, we will give this poor guy something to think with. You would need your nano expansion shield, your nano breakout cables, and a earth cable. Some elastic. Also, another thing that I have found is the controller would need its own power source, hence a 9-volt battery in a battery clip with some hook and loop on the back, which will be stuck down right here. Right, let's get going. First things first. Excuse me for not having any screen capture capability, hence you will not be able to see on my screen, but hopefully I can explain. First we have to program the nano. Source code will be available on the forum, MadMobCon forum, for download. It's just a example piece of code which you can augment, obviously. So first things first, make sure when you open your Arduino IDE you select the right board, the right processor type. This is a Atmega 328, and also your port. In my case I've got port 21 selected here. It's a matter of uploading the code. You will see it flashes and code is uploaded, and that is it. Right, then we unplug and we are done with the PC. From here, let's decide what we're going to do. Oh yeah, by the way, some packing once again, so we don't want this thing to short. The nano will plug on these female headers, micro USB on the DC adapter side. Be careful, line up your pins correctly. If you force it in, it's going to break and you're going to be crying. So it's a matter of lining your pins up and squishing it down. Make sure it seats properly. You'll see there's no gaps in there. Okay, how we fasten it to the robot? On the battery, as I said in the previous episode, and I have opted for some elastics. Elastic would be easier to use, as we would want to be able to remove the batteries when they get flat, which they will be getting flat. I mean, hopefully not soon, but it depends. So first we tie that on that side, tie this one on this side, and guys, as I said previously, it's up to you how you build this. This is just one flavor, this is my flavor, this is how I would like to do it. So yeah, up to you guys. So loop over the nano and hook it on the female connectors, and then take the other side through the pins and hook it, and you're done. It's not going anywhere. Make sure the packing tape is underneath, properly seated to not short out any connections. Right, from there we're going to need to first extend a earth from here, negative, to this pin in the middle here. So let's unscrew this terminal, and then as you can see here, ground black, red is 5-volt, blue signal. So we want to take any of the black pins, anyone, and just extend it there. So I've got a cable here, 2 female headers, just because I've got this cable. I want to stick it onto the first one, make sure it's properly connected, and I would want to run it nice and tight, so I think I'll just clip off that connector. Then we'll just strip the end, knife, please be careful. Oh, this would be awesome if I cut my own finger off on a video. Come on, thumbs up for that one. That would be awesome, huh? Yeah, I think so. Right, just twist it a little bit so it does not fray. You want all the ends in there with the other cable, and fasten it down. Right, so now we should have, if we switch on, a light on the H bridge, but nothing happening here. As you can see, no LEDs, no blinky thingies, nothing. Reason, this is only negative, there's no positive coming back from the H bridge to your controller, meaning your controller is going to have its own power. This one, we'll get to it. Now, you'll see on your H bridge you've got 4 pins exposed. I've made up these cables. I've decided to use white and red for the one motor and yellow and black for the other motor, A and B. Basically, you're just going to plug it in here. The pins you are looking for from the code, you will see in the top section of the code. I will get to that now. I'll show you a printed out piece. Come on, I will plant a tree. You'll be looking at pin 0 and 1 for motor A, 0 and 1, and please make sure it's on the signal. So now that's connected properly. And 5 and 6 for motor B. So that would be 5 and 6. But it would be funny if I connect this the wrong way around, and then the robot won't work. Nice. Right, so let's remove my hook and loop, and this is the sticky type. I'll remove the stickiness, and I think we will put this 9-volt battery in the back here. Yeah, why not? Let me see if this is going to fit if I do it this way around. Yeah, it will. So we take that, and Bob's your uncle. Yep, Bob is an uncle of some sort, I suppose. Now if I hook it up, it's going to be powered, so it will be wanting to do something. Before I hook it up, let's just look at the code quickly, so I can give you a little bit of an explanation of the code. Whoops. Right. Move this aside. Paper, sorry. Right. From here you can see there's a speed pin A, which is on pin 3. Pin A1 and pin A2, this is where you define your variables, by the way. A variable being which pin is connected to what. A1 and A2, that's for motor A, 1 and 2. Pin 1 and 0. Speed pin A is not being used currently, but I am defining it. In a future venture we will get into that. That would just be if you want to switch your PWM signal going to your motors. Currently we're not going to do this. This is basic. We just want to switch on and off, forward and backward. That's it. So we have pin A, we have pin B, as you can see, 5 and 6, 0 and 1, as I said. The boolean run variable is just to get our main loop to run, else we have no way of telling this robot to do something. In the setup mode, the setup method, by the way, for those who do not know, Arduino has 2 nice defined methods. The setup method where you set your inputs and outputs, and the loop method where you actually execute code. This here being the entirety of the setup method. Once again, I set the pin mode, which pin, output or input. These are all outputs, so nothing fancy. And also I set the run boolean to true, which you will see now in the loop code. We check the run. Just to make sure there's some way to stop this code, and obviously in this case to make sure there's a means to execute this code. Once we get into this loop, we check the run, obviously, as I said, it is true, so we will go into this code. There's a delay of 2000 milliseconds. Then we're going to do a turn left, and on the moment you download the code from the forum, you can go into the method turn left and go see what it actually does. Not really much. It's going to turn one motor in one direction, the other motor in the other direction, and this 255 is where the speed comes in. Send the speed as 255, which is the max value. 200 is the duration of the turn. Delay 500 milliseconds, turn right, exactly the same thing, delay 500 milliseconds. Why am I doing this? I do not have a lot of space here. I do not want this robot to jump off the table, it's expensive. That is the code. The turn left and turn right methods will in itself call forward and backwards, which is all defined lower down in the code. But as I said, when you have downloaded that from the forum, you will be able to have a look at it and understand better. If you do not understand the code, please feel free to ask some questions. There's a lot of people that will be able to help apart from ourselves. Right, now let's get back to this master robot. Okay, if I switch it on, I'm going to lift it up so that the motor says the wheels will just spin in mid-air. So currently when I switch it on, you'll see the nano and the shield switches on, but nothing happens. Why? Because there's no power on this one, H-bridge. When you switch it on, it's going to energize and the code's going to execute. Although this code doesn't look to do the right thing. Aha, I know why. See, even us old folk makes mistakes. We have wired this the wrong way around, this one. Oops, don't do that. Unplug first, else we'll have problems. 4, 5, and 6. What we're looking for is one motor to be spinning in one direction, other one spinning in the other direction. That's the only way this thing will be able to. Now that is what we were looking for. Okay. Right. So now it's up to you guys. It's got a brain. There's no way to get input to it. There's no sensors on it yet. But I would suggest you experiment with the code. There is 6 base methods, I believe, to be forward, backward, left and right. There's 2 more, can't remember now. In any case, experiment in your main loop to get sequence. Get this robot to do a figure 8, for instance. Should not be difficult. It's going to be a matter of experimenting with your time frame and seeing what it does, and altering, by the way. Unplug when you're done, because this is batteries is expensive. In any case, guys, was quite short, but I do not want to move into the sensor in the same iteration, as there's going to be a lot of theory behind that, as into how we use it, how we interpret it, and ultimately what the robot does with that input. So I would rather leave that for number 4. As I said, any questions, please feel free to ask. If I can't help, I know someone that can. Yeah, and have fun. Experiment and have fun. Thank you very much. Please like and subscribe.